10 royals who suffered because of inbreeding. King Charles II of Spain, 1661 to 1700. Charles had an enormous jawline known as the Habsburg jaw. He could barely eat or speak. He was also known to slobber a lot. He wasn't able to walk until he was 8. Charles was unable to procreate. He passed away without leaving an heir to the kingdom. Ferdinand I of Austria, 1793 to 1875. Ferdinand was born with hydrocephalus. This illness causes brain damage. He had the famous Habsburg jaw and epilepsy. He was disabled and had no power over state matters. He liked to move about on the floor in a waste paper basket. King Tutankhamun, 1341 to 1323 BC. King Tut was a weak and sickly child. He was born with a cleft palate, a club foot, and an unusually long skull. His immune system was not strong, making him more vulnerable to illness. He passed away when he was around 18 or 19 years old. His body could not handle the severe infection in his foot, which may have led to his demise. King George III of England, 1738 to 1820. Between 1738 and 1820, King George III of England suffered from porphyria. Porphyria is an inherited disorder. It induces moments of craziness. It gives the pea a purplish-blue tint. George also had skin issues. Perhaps he had bipolar disorder. Empress Elizabeth of Austria, 1837 to 1898. Known for her beauty obsession, Elizabeth had severe depression and an eating disorder. She was not directly affected by inbreeding but had anorexia, anxiety, and extreme exercise habits. She slept little, ate minimally, and exercised obsessively. Modern historians compare her struggles to Princess Diana's. Queen Victoria, 1819 to 1901. Queen Victoria was a carrier of hemophilia, a genetic blood clotting disorder, but she did not have the disease herself. She passed the hemophilia gene to some of her children, including her son Prince Leopold, who suffered from the disorder and passed away due to complications from a fall. Through her daughters, the disease spread to European royal families, particularly in Russia, Spain, and Germany. At least 10 of her descendants were affected by hemophilia, including her grandson Alexei Romanov, the son of Russia's last Tsar, Nicholas II. Some of them passed away from complications related to the disease. Princess Victoria Melita, 1876 to 1936. Princess Victoria Melita was Queen Victoria's granddaughter, and so a member of one of Europe's most powerful royal houses. Unlike some of her ancestors, she did not acquire hemophilia, a genetic blood ailment that affected many of Queen Victoria's offspring. Throughout her life, she suffered from chronic and terrible headaches. In addition to her health issues, she experienced emotional distress when she gave birth to a stillborn child, which deeply affected her. Maria the Mad, Queen of Portugal, 1734 to 1816. Maria I of Portugal suffered from a severe mental illness that progressively worsened as she aged. Her condition caused her to have intense emotional outbursts, during which she would cry uncontrollably and scream loudly, sometimes making sounds that resembled animal noises. In an attempt to cure her, doctors subjected her to brutal and ineffective treatments, including forced ice baths, skin blistering techniques, and the excessive use of laxatives. As her mental state deteriorated, it became clear that she was unfit to rule, and she was eventually removed from power. A regent was appointed to take over her duties, marking the end of her reign. Joanna of Castile, 1479 to 1506. Joanna of Castile, later known as Joanna the Crazy, was a Spanish princess who is believed to have suffered from a mental disorder. She was intensely devoted to her husband, Philip the Handsome, to the point of obsession. Her love for him was so consuming that when she discovered he had taken a mistress, she reacted violently, reportedly stabbing the woman in the face. When Philip passed away suddenly, Joanna was devastated and fell into a deep state of grief. She was said to have refused to part from his corpse, keeping it close to her for long periods and even crying beside it every night. Her erratic behavior contributed to her eventual confinement, and she was deemed unfit to rule. Caligula, 12 AD to 41 AD. Caligula's bloodlust was possibly caused by inbreeding. He forced parents to observe their children's tortures. He professed to be a god. He had a bridge built between the Zeus temple and his own palace. As a result, he was able to communicate more effectively with the deity. He was then killed by his own guards.